Hey everyone, how's it going? We're happy to have people tuning in from all around the world. If you're new here, welcome to the family. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The Middle East is literally on fire right now. As I speak to you, this isn't just rumors. We're talking about confirmed reports. We're not just seeing heavy strikes deep inside Iran. There have been major hits on nuclear facilities and ballistic missile programs. On top of that, some very high-ranking commanders in the Iranian Revolutionary Guard have been targeted. This isn't just about Iran possibly responding in a symbolic way. No, it's expected that Iran will respond strongly. Meanwhile, Israel is still actively carrying out attacks as we speak. There have been massive strikes in the heart of Iran over the last few hours. We're not talking about minor skirmishes. These were powerful, direct attacks on Tehran, Isfahan, and specifically the Natanz nuclear facility in the Isfahan region. One of the major targets was Hossein Salami, commander of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. And we're not talking about a regular officer. This guy is one of the top figures in the whole Iranian regime. His assassination marks a serious escalation. This isn't just some back and forth anymore. We're looking at a well-planned war strategy. The so-called shadow war between Iran and Israel, that's over. It ended with the Al-Aqsa flood operation, followed by Israel's bombing of the Iranian consulate in Syria and then strikes on Hezbollah. Now, Israel is launching attacks not just on Iran's proxies, but inside Iran itself. Just yesterday, I told you this wasn't going to be a one-off strike. I said clearly this was going to be a long-term military operation. Israel even gave it a name: Operation Lion's Heart or Lion's Force. And now, that operation is hitting right at Iran's core, inside Tehran. Various locations have been hit. We've got footage of the IRGC commander's headquarters being struck, and there are reports of attacks in the Shajar neighborhood in Tehran. Other reports mention residential complexes and military zones tied to the Iranian army and IRGC, including places housing top commanders and officers. One major figure believed to have been targeted is Iran's chief of staff, Mohammad Bagheri. Bottom line, Israel isn't holding back. In Isfahan, especially around the Natanz nuclear facility, explosions have been going off non-stop. This isn't Israel sending a message. They've clearly said, "We want to destroy Iran's nuclear program." And it's not just about the facilities. Israeli strikes have also targeted Iranian nuclear scientists, particularly those working on uranium enrichment. A significant number of these experts were killed in the attack. Then Netanyahu went live on TV claiming responsibility. He flat out said, "Yes, Israel did this, and will keep doing it until the threat is completely eliminated." Just like that, openly, with no fear. This is Israel raising the stakes with Iran to the highest level. For Netanyahu to go public like that, right after the operation, it's like he's daring Iran. Yeah, we did it. Now what are you going to do about it? Remember, in past attacks, Israel used to strike Iran and then stay quiet. That was the case a year ago when they launched a covert attack and didn't claim responsibility. But this time it's different. They're not hiding anything. Of course, Israel knows a big response is likely coming from Iran. That's why Israel's Defense Minister Israel Katz came out warning all Israeli citizens to follow internal security instructions. A full state of emergency has been declared across Israel. They know this could escalate fast. A few hours before the strikes, the International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA, had said that Iran wasn't cooperating with them at all. They warned that Iran was rejecting any collaboration. It kind of takes us back to the days when people were accusing Iraq of having a nuclear program. But this time, it's Iran. And the difference is, Iran does have a nuclear program and has been openly working on developing a bomb. Netanyahu recently said that Iran has enough material to build up to 9 nuclear bombs. That's what pushed Israel to go ahead with this operation. But the biggest part of all this? The assassination of Hossein Salami, commander of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. For those who don't know, this guy wasn't just a top commander. He was the top military figure inside Iran. The IRGC isn't just a military force. They're the most powerful armed organization in Iran, even involved in internal security and the ballistic missile program. So hitting Salami is a direct blow to the core of Iran's regime, a deep wound to the system. And according to intel reports, it wasn't just Salami. Chief of Staff Mohammad Bagheri was also targeted. Some intelligence reports say that Iran's Chief of Staff, Mohammad Bagheri, along with a group of nuclear scientists, were targeted and possibly killed. Iran has denied it so far, but still, you've got the commander of the Revolutionary Guard killed, several scientists assassinated, and multiple missile and nuclear facilities struck. Israel has openly admitted they carried out the strikes. But let me tell you something. This operation isn't going to be the end of it. It's just the beginning. This video is literally the first coverage of what's happening, and I'm rushing to get this out to you as fast as possible because I personally think this is the biggest event we've seen in the Middle East in years. The repercussions and reactions will be massive, especially because these attacks happen deep inside Iran, even in Tehran itself. Right now, thick smoke is rising over the city. Isfahan and Natanz were also hit, key sites related to Iran's nuclear program. Now, about the assassination of Hossein Salami, the commander of the Revolutionary Guard, this isn't just a strike. This is a decapitation of the Iranian leadership. The main goal here is clearly to throw Iran's leadership into confusion. Israel is basically saying, we've got enough intel to know where every single one of you is, and we'll hit you wherever you are. And considering how tense things were before this strike, it's expected that those leaders and scientists were already being moved around frequently. So for Israel to pull this off means they had real-time intel, down to the minute. The first Iranian response came from the supreme leader, Khamenei. He said the actions of the Zionist regime, his words, should neither be underestimated nor blown out of proportion. He emphasized the need to throw off Israel's calculations. Basically, he's trying to calm the panic. But the truth is, there's widespread panic inside Iran. Just look at the long gas station lines. People are clearly bracing for more chaos. President Pezeshkian also made a statement saying if they hit our facilities, we'll build new ones, and if they hit us, we'll hit back. But here's the thing. Iran can't respond with just a symbolic gesture. They need to hit back hard, or they'll look weak in front of their own people. After all, a top general and the chief of staff were killed. That's not something you can let slide. In response, Iran has shut down its airspace and airports, including Imam Khomeini Airport. This shows that Tehran is seriously assessing the situation and planning a strong, calculated response. So they're trying to play innocent. Trump came out and said the United States had nothing to do with the strikes, didn't participate in anything. But let's be real. A strike like this couldn't happen without American involvement. Either the United States provided the bombers and bunker-busting bombs, which only they have, or Israel did it with U.S. support. These types of strikes can only be done with American-grade weaponry capable of reaching deep underground targets. Yet the United States is playing the game of "we didn't do it," while warning Iran that if they respond, America will get involved. So you've got this weird situation where one party attacks and everyone else pretends it wasn't them. Fuel prices have already jumped, a 5% spike, and now it's gone up to 8%. The United States is now in a really tough spot. They don't want to escalate the situation, but at the same time, they won't abandon Israel. Meanwhile, Israelis were seen gathering at the Western Wall, praying and celebrating. Bottom line, things are extremely tense right now. The Middle East hasn't been this close to the edge since the Gulf War. So the big question now is, how will Iran respond? How will they respond to the assassination of Hossein Salami, the killing of the chief of staff, the strikes on Isfahan and Tehran? Some analysts are saying Iran will respond with direct strikes within the next few hours, maybe even before this video gets published. We're in a very dangerous, volatile moment in the Middle East. Stay tuned for updates in the coming hours. Thanks so much for watching, and may God protect us all. Because honestly, I wouldn't rule out anything at this point. If Iran